Hi friends, it's Patty and welcome back to the Living Well with Bipolar Disorder channel. Today's video, I kind of want to talk about whether life really is hard day-to-day living with a mental illness, particularly bipolar disorder. And the short answer is no. Every day is not a struggle. I think that's kind of a question that comes up often. And it's also something that's not completely related to someone with a mental health disorder. It's anybody, I think, because we all face big challenges in life and face difficulties and hard times, and so I think life can be hard for everybody. But I'm talking specifically about living with a mental illness and especially living with bipolar disorder. And from a very early age, Oliver's here already. Hi. Hi. Are you here for your moment? He has to say hi. So from an early age, as a child, I struggled a lot. Around age 7 was when my first kind of suicidal thoughts started creeping in, and not wanting to live anymore. And I'm pretty certain I struggled with depression as a young child. And so when you do go throughout your life feeling this way, it tends to start feeling like this is an everyday thing. And certainly if I'm in a bad depression, it is an everyday struggle. When people talk about barely being able to get out of bed, that is not an exaggeration whatsoever. It's kind of the worst parts of my depression, even if you cancel out suicidal thoughts and dealing with those. Getting out of bed, moving, doing anything, being productive, getting things done, is like climbing a mountain. It's very difficult, and I think a lot of people don't quite understand that. Sometimes they see people struggling with depression as lazy or unmotivated and things like that, and it's not that at all. It's just you just simply purely do not have the energy or enthusiasm to live another day. And that sounds really dark, but I want to point out in this video that not every day has to be like that. I don't live every day like that. I certainly have bad days, good days, but in times where it feels like every day is a struggle, I think it's important to remember that usually it's not every day. I have really good times. I have really good days. I laugh a lot. Oliver keeps me on my toes and keeps me entertained and keeps me focused. And so I try my best to look at those things, hey, I just had, a couple days of really feeling good. I wasn't hypomanic. I was just feeling positive and motivated and enthusiastic and kind of reached some milestones and goals I wanted to achieve. And I think it's really, really important to remember to look at those things, whether you journal or whatever it is. Just try and be aware that not every day has to be a struggle. I'm not going to lie though, it does feel often that my life is an uphill battle. And that sounds a little dramatic. I admit that it does. But I remember at certain times just crying because life was so hard. And it wasn't even during a depression. I just remember just being completely wiped out and exhausted and wondering, why is life so hard? And at my age now, I've sort of had some things sorted out in terms of how much of that I'm responsible for and how much of it is just life, life happening, and then how much of it is related to my mental illness. And I'm still kind of trying to figure that out. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments, kind of what your percentage looks like as far as how much is life, how much is your bipolar or mental illness, and just what those percentages look like. I'd be really, really interested in finding that out. I do want to say that, yes, I think life can be more difficult with a mental illness. You are navigating a lot more than I think a lot of people do. Again, I want to go back to saying that not everyone's life is easy, and most people do face difficulties and challenges and loss and, things like that. But I do think that having a mental illness kind of changes the topography a little bit, and it kind of amplifies how difficult certain things are. And so I think in that way, it does seem like life is harder. And at times it is. I see other people that can handle stress a lot better than I can. They deal with disappointments a lot more. They tend to have less anxiety. And I don't even have a lot of anxiety, but I do, and I understand its impact. And so I just seem to find that other people that don't have a mental illness or have not been diagnosed with a mental illness, they just seem to kind of go through life a little bit easier. And on some of the more practical levels, no, they don't have to go to the pharmacy every 3 months or however. Although some people have chronic diseases and they need to do that, and I understand that. And that's why I think some practitioners will say that mental illness is a chronic condition, and I really do believe that. But it's the constant medication changes, and you're having to see oftentimes more than one provider, because I have a therapist and a psychiatric nurse practitioner. And oftentimes, I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but I go to my primary care physician, and the first thing that always comes up is how I'm doing with my mental illness and mental health. And so it seems like my whole life is focused on that. I mean, I have a channel about it right now. So I think it's important to kind of look at your total wellness, your total health, and your total life, and kind of remind yourself that not everything is about bipolar, and not everything is about suicide and depression. And it doesn't have to be that way. And so every day does not have to be a struggle. I feel for you if you're going through that right now, because it is going to seem like what I'm saying right now is going to seem impossible to you. And I completely understand that, because I could be in a depression in 3 months and feel the same way. So I'm not here to just be all happy-go-lucky, everything's great, and because I know what the reality is. But I just want to say that not every day has to be horrible. Not every day has to be walking through sludge. You can get out of bed, and you can do things and have fun and smile and laugh and be successful. And I just want to emphasize that there is that part to life as well, and we need to celebrate it when it happens. So in the comments below, I would love it if you guys would kind of share your ideas on this topic. I know it's one that doesn't get talked about a lot, and I'm always willing to hear from other people what your thoughts are. And be sure to like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you want more videos like this, and also in the comment section below, leave your ideas for other video topics that you'd like to hear. I do have quite a few ideas for videos coming up, but I would welcome any ideas that you might have. So I'm going to say goodbye for now, and I'll see you in the next video.